Hello and welcome to another video. This is going to be one of the videos that I talked about recently that I've been wanting to film, but due to the holidays, all the stilettos out stuff, it's coming out a little late. But first off, even before I talk about that, if you hear any noises in the background, sorry, some work is being done in the apartment, so you might hear some of that. I don't know if you can hear it, but like there's work being done in the other room. But anyways, besides that, yeah, I'm going to be in this video talking about my Grail dolls. So I made a video like this in 2023, at the December of 2023, and I meant to do an updated Grail list in December 2024, but things got away from me and everything. And yeah, so here we are, beginning of 2025, and I'm finally getting to record this video. So the reason I am recording this, because in the most sense, a Grail list doesn't change that much. But for me as a collector, since I've gotten more into Integrity Toys, I feel like what I like, there's been some changes, and as far as like what I want for my collection and things like that. So my Grail list has changed up quite a bit, honestly, and I thought this would just be a fun video to share. So I don't know, I've seen in the community there's been like wish lists, like dolls I hope to get this year and stuff like that. This isn't necessarily like dolls I want to get this year. If I get them this year, that'd be absolutely amazing. But it's just kind of like my updated Grail list, since I've been more into collecting after going to a convention, seeing some Grails in person, obtaining a couple of Grails. Yeah, I thought this would be a fun video to do. But I think we should start by defining what a Grail is. So for me, in the doll collecting sphere, Grails seem to be very, the definition seems to vary from different people, and no perfect answer is right. It's all about, you know, your perspective, I guess. But for me, a Grail is a doll that I consider hard to obtain for one reason or another, and is typically high in value. Well, actually, that's not even true. Hard to obtain is the only thing, and that could be monetarily, so like it could be expensive. It could be a small edition size, and also I kind of like it to be at least older than a year, having been out, because last time I did this list in December of 2023, I didn't want to consider Tantrum Erin Solston part of the Grail list because I was like, she still felt too new. And again, that's probably a me thing. I'm not saying like if you guys consider Tantrum Erin a Grail, she's a Grail. But for me, she still feels kind of like too new to be on the list, even though she is a doll I really want. If that makes sense, I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, so for me, it's hard to obtain dolls that have been out for a bit of time. So again, this full list is Integrity Toys. Last time I did this list, it was just Integrity Toys is all that I could think of that met the qualifications. But now it's kind of the only doll line I collect. Rainbow High, I'm pretty much done collecting. In fact, I'm thinking about like selling off or getting rid of part of my collection, honestly. I really love Rainbow High, and it's what got me into collecting and everything, but I just don't have the same like spark of joy and happiness from Rainbow High as I get from Integrity Toys. So there's definitely some I'm never going to let go of. Some dolls I really love and are very like sentimentally special to me. But yeah, and then Barbie, I've talked about it before. I'm trying to stick, I have a couple Barbies, but they're all from the movie, and I'm sticking to the movie ones only. So I don't want to go too far into the Barbie world. So really, Integrity Toys is kind of just like what my collection is as far as like what's growing. So all that blah blah out of the way, let's get into my Grail list. But actually first, I'm going to share my wish list. So for me, there's the Grail list. This is like the almighty Grails, top of the line. I have 10 Grails I'm going to be sharing with you guys. But first, I have a couple wish list items. And these items are wish list just because there's something that holds them back from being a Grail, but I still really want these items. It might be like, maybe it's a fashion, but I don't want the doll, or it's a doll and not the fashion, or something like that. There's just like, it's not a complete set, so I don't consider it a Grail for one reason or another. Actually, all of these falls into that category. It's either I want the doll and I don't care about the fashion, or I want the fashion and I don't care about the doll. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with my wish list, and I did my best to make my wish list only 5 items, you guys, because I was like 10 grails and then 5 wish list items, but I couldn't. I'm so sorry, but I could not. So we're starting off with number 6, and number 6 on my wish list is the fashion from a Yumi Total Betty. So I'll be sure to put photos up here, so I'll like keep that side of the screen open. I think this fashion is so cute. I have a photo of it here, that's why I'm looking over. But like the fur jacket, the thigh-high socks, I think if this was, I wish the skirt honestly was kind of like a pastel or really bright color. It's kind of a cream, it's really pretty. But I love this fashion so much. I think it's so pretty and very much like the type of aesthetic I enjoy. It almost gives me like the Integrity Toys version of like what I enjoyed from Rainbow High, if that makes sense. But the doll, I don't like this Ayumi, surprisingly. Ayumi is a doll that I became very aware of after the convention with the Style Lab Ayumi. Love her so much, and now she is like, Ayumi's definitely jumped up in as far as like my favorite face sculpts. So I do really like Ayumi, but this Ayumi, I don't know if it's the hair or something, but she just doesn't excite me. But I do love this fashion, and it comes in at number 6 on my wish list. So number 5 on my wish list, we have another Ayumi moment, and this is the doll Hauntingly Lovely Ayumi. So this was a lingerie doll, and the lingerie, I do think it's actually really pretty, but I would not like throw tons of money to have the fashion. But I do think this doll is so beautiful. And again, going back to the Style Lab Ayumi from the Stilettos Out convention, this doll is like the blonde version, or the Style Lab doll is the brunette version of this doll. Like, she's like, seems to be the inspiration for the Style Lab Ayumi. So it'd be really cool to have like both sides of the coin in a way. And I just think she's really pretty. She's really beautiful. So she comes in at number 5 on my wish list. The Ayumi Hauntingly Lovely, just the doll. The next item on my wish list, and again, we're going through the wish list pretty quickly because we got to get to the grails. But the number 4 is Eye Candy Reina the doll. So this was a W Club upgrade doll, I'm pretty sure. She is so pretty. I think this is the best screening Reina has ever had. I don't know if this is being used on another Reina. My knowledge of Reinas is quite limited. I'm still learning about that face sculpt, if I'm honest, but something about this Reina is so beautiful. She has the really colorful makeup, beautiful brown hair. I just think, and the pouty lips. I love this Reina so much. So she is gonna come in at number 4. The fashion, it's fine, but really the doll is what it is for me. So beautiful, and she comes in at number 4. Okay, now we are on number 3 of my wish list, and we have another doll, just a doll that I'm interested in. And this is a doll I became more aware of within this year. And the doll that I really like, who is on a wish list, she's number 3, it is the Dominique Makeda My Essence. This Dominique is so pretty. I want this Dominique so bad, and I'm gonna let you guys know, one of the reasons I want this Dominique so bad is because, to me, I look at this doll, I see Shea Coulee from RuPaul's Drag Race. She looks so much like Shea Coulee to me, and Shea Coulee is one of my favorite drag queens, like, of all time. Love her so much. So to have a doll that looks like Shea Coulee, I can get some other fashion for her. She was like a basics doll. She comes just in some underwear. I don't care about that. But the doll, I need to have this doll. So she comes in at number 3. Okay, so now we are on to number 2 from my wish list. And this is something I've talked about on this channel before. I want the fashion from the Tula Belle True, the Fashion Fairy Tale Style Lab, the I'm Curious fashion pack. Because if you guys watch my Stilettos Out convention, I actually have the Tula Belle from the past convention. Like, I ended up getting that head and put her together from my mystery box and stuff. So now I want the fashion to go for the Tula Belle. It's like this dark gothic Alice. I love a fairy tale element in general. So I would love to complete my Tula Belle. So this is number 2. I have so much been on the hunt for this fashion. I've seen it a couple times. It doesn't show up a lot right now, but fingers crossed. I really, really, really want this fashion. I'd love to complete my Tula Belle, and hopefully I will. Okay, wrapping up the wish list, we're coming in with my number 1 item from my wish list. And this is a doll I've talked about many, many times. I think she is just the epitome of beauty. It is the Dollface Adele Makeda. This doll is so beautiful. She is so pretty. I cannot even stand it. And she comes in this really pretty pink lingerie set. If I could get her complete, that'd be really cool. Would love that. But if I could get my hands on just the doll nude, just as happy. Like, I am not gonna cry over not getting her complete because the doll is the magic. This face, she is just so beautiful. I really, really, really love this Adele. One of the best Adeles. Not the best Adele, but one of the best by far. Just so pretty. And that's why she comes in at number 1 on my wish list. Okay, so we wrapped up my wish list. We talked about dolls that it was either like dolls or fashions. Like, it was never a complete doll that I'm in search for. That's why I didn't think they fit into the grails, but some of those I want just as much as my grails, if that makes sense. But for my grail list, I wanted to include like complete dolls that I want very, very, very badly. So if you watch my 2023 grail list that I shared, very quickly you're gonna see there's definitely been some changes as far as like the dolls I like and the dolls I want, because I feel like I'm starting to really understand my collecting style and like kind of more curate how I want my collection to be. So with that, the dolls I want change, but also we're gonna see some familiar dolls pop up as well. Like, some dolls I just love already, and if you've been around for a while, I think you're already gonna know what my number 1 doll is. But yeah, let's just get straight into it, and let's bring up number 10 with a doll I have never talked about on this channel before, but one I've learned about pretty recently, and now I want her very badly, and that is Modernist Eugenia Perrin Frost. So Eugenia is a face sculpt that I was 100% sleeping on. Like, I did not know how beautiful she was until the convention one. Actually, I can grab her right here. Ooh. Ever since obtaining this Eugenia, I've understood like how beautiful. Also, look, you guys, I finally fixed her hair. I think it's really nice. But anyway, I think I fully understand how beautiful the Eugenia face sculpt is. I don't know why I was sleeping on her so much before, but wow, she is just such a beautiful doll. So ever since like waking up to Eugenia some, I've been like looking at the sculpts and stuff like that more. And this Eugenia is so pretty, so beautiful. First off, I think this is the darkest skin tone Eugenia has ever released in. I hope they do some more of Eugenia in this skin tone because wow, she is so beautiful. She is head to toe pastel blue, which is so perfect to me. And she is just good, and that pop of blue in the eyeshadow, I love this Eugenia so much. She is so beautiful. Honestly, one of my favorite, if not my favorite Eugenia that's ever been released. Before I talked, Lee Tuxedo was my favorite Eugenia, and I do think she's still really amazing, don't get me wrong. But I think this Eugenia is better, so already a hint, you're not gonna see Lee Tuxedo on this grail list, but this Eugenia, she's just stunning. I love her. And that's why she's coming in at number 10 on my grail list. Let's head to number 9. Now we are headed into number 9, and number 9 is another face sculpt that has become a recent favorite of mine, and that is Adele Makeda Sovereign. So Sovereign Adele Makeda, she was a doll from the Legendary Convention, I do believe, and she is just beautiful. A lot of people have said she is like the Beyonce Adele, which I can totally see that, but I'm not a big fan of that what would you call it, asymmetrical or asymmetrical cut. She has like that jacket that's like long on one side, short on the other. That's fine, but when you take that off and she's wearing that champagne gown that has like the corset ties in the side and the long opera gloves, that, like, her displayed like that, I'll put up a photo of her like that. I want that. I want Adele in that look, just complete. I want that so bad. As you guys know, ever since getting Pink Glam Adele, who I have dressed up in the eye candy fashion back there, ever since getting my hands on her, I have been mesmerized by the Adele face sculpt. She is definitely in my top 3 of favorite face sculpts at this point. I love her so much, and I just want more. I want more Adeles. I am really hoping we get an Adele before this club year ends also, by the way, because she was not at the convention at all. The only doll we got of her was Pink Glam last year's club, and it was just a moment. So please, please, please let an Adele come soon. But anyways, Sovereign Adele Makeda, I love her. She's so beautiful, and I would love to have her in my collection. Speaking of Adele, number 8, we have another Adele Makeda, and it is Petite Robe Classique Jour. It's like French. Jour? Why I'm rolling the R's because I'm so used to speaking Spanish. Jour. I don't know. I don't speak French. But this is Adele Makeda, and what's really cool is there's a Veronique that mimics this look, which is Petite Classique Veronique. And she's like the daytime one. I forget what day is in French. But this Adele, the face, like the doll is stunning already. But like if you look at just the face of this Adele, wow. Face card, oh, so good. And then she's in this white outfit with the like polka dot. I love this Adele. She is so beautiful. Love, 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 love this Adele. I have nothing else to say. She's amazing. She's perfect. She's beautiful. I love her. So she comes in at number 8 on my grail list. Okay, so now we are on to number 7, and I think this is going to surprise a lot of people because from what I've seen, this doll isn't super popular, which kind of excites me because I think I will be able to obtain this doll at some point. But now we're talking about a face sculpt that I was sleeping on until this year. We have another Ayumi doll because she was in the wish list, but this is the first Ayumi on the grail list. We have Ayumi Nakamura, and it is Charmed Child. And this was a giveaway doll from either Legendary or Obsession Convention. I think Legendary. Editing Greg will put on the screen which one. But she was a giveaway doll at a convention, and it seems like she was not very super well received, but I love her. Like, I really, really love her. I love she has the Hime cut. I know it's kind of, I've seen photos where it was not executed great. So like, I know that's a bit of a problem, but I love this outfit with this super short skirt and like showing so much leg in the hat. And I think with the right accessories, throwing a couple accessories on this look, I think she could look so good. And I just love the bright red hair with the bright red lip. It's almost giving like K-pop idol in a way. I don't know. It's so fun. She's so pretty. I love her. I love her, and I'd love to have her in my collection, which is why she comes in at number 7. Let's get to number 6. All right, so here we have a returning doll to my grail list. She's just like dropped down a couple spots, but I still love this doll. I still want to obtain this doll and have her in my collection so very much, and that is the Kitty Girl Pink RuPaul doll. So if you did not know, I've talked about it before on this channel, but how I found Integrity Toys originally, like when I first found out they existed, was from Jason Wu when he went on to RuPaul's Drag Race as a guest judge, and he had the RuPaul doll sitting on his shoulder. So I just saw it and I was like, that is so beautiful. I need to own that. Because I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I used to like play 4D chess with myself to find a way to own a doll, but I needed to find a way to not own the doll. Like before I like really wanted to become a doll collector, I was looking for ways to own dolls without being a doll collector. So like if I was a fan of something, like a huge fan of something, I was like, oh, they had a doll line, I should get the dolls for that line. Not because I'm a doll collector, but because I'm a fan of this thing. Even though what I really wanted is I just wanted dolls, honestly. I don't know why I was fighting with myself so much, but I wanted this doll so badly when she was announced. Well, not announced, but when I saw her on RuPaul's Drag Race. And I was like, I want her so bad. But I was in high school at the time, so I was like, there's no way I'm gonna afford that doll. But that's how I first found out about Integrity Toys. And to this day, I still want the doll. Like, it is years later. I've been done with high school for quite some time now. And I still want her. She's so beautiful. I like all the RuPaul dolls, but this is my favorite RuPaul doll. So I'd be happy with any of them, especially the newer ones like the red, gold, or pink. But I really, really want the pink one. So yeah, she comes in at number 6. Now let's get into my top 5 most wanted dolls on my Grail list. Okay, so here we are in the top 5. I'm interested. Definitely let me know what your top 5 Grails are down in the comments below. I would love to hear. I love hearing people's Grail list. But we're gonna start off with a strong one. Of course, I think all these dolls are like the best of the best. But starting off strong with number 5, we have Natalia Fatale Enamorada, I believe is how it's said. This doll is so beautiful. She has this like gown, but then she has this lingerie set, and she has this almost like Jessica Rabbit styled hair, but it's like a brunette. She is so pretty. She looks like a telenovela star on a red carpet. I just think she is absolutely everything. She's so sexy, but so glamorous. And also like pink. I love that she's like a red, almost pink. Well, it's like a pink that's almost red. She's so beautiful. She belongs with me one day. She would fit so perfect with my ball gown girls up there. I know I'm running out of space everywhere, but I'm gonna figure it out. But I would figure it out for this doll. She is just, she's perfect. I love her so much. She's so beautiful. And that is why she comes in at number 5. All right, so now we're moving on to number 4. And we're gonna keep it going with Natalia Fatale. And this number 4 spot goes to Natalia Fatale, Make Me Blush. So this is a doll that is so beautiful. I think she is so pretty. She's so delicate, but sexy, and sweet, but still sexy. Like, I love her so much. And I talked about this in my 2023 Grail list. She is one that has continued to be on my list. But one of the things I said about her, and it's still true now, the reason I am so drawn to this doll is because she really reminds me of Britney Spears in the Lucky music video, when she's playing like the character Lucky, and she has like this hair that falls to one side and this dramatic robe. Like, this doll is like the Integrity Toys version of that. And it just makes me want her even more. She's so pretty in these soft pink, and this, that hair is perfection. I mean, I don't know how well it would come out like once you have the one in your hands, but in the product images, she looks so perfect and so beautiful. I love this Natalia. I would love to own this Natalia, and that is why she comes in at number 4. All right, guys, we are headed into the top 3. Seriously, if you haven't posted your top 5 Grails in the comments, do so now. If not, just the top 3. Again, I would love to hear it. But my top 3. So what's surprising is, I will say, all of my top 3, none of them are my favorite face sculpts, which is gonna sound so weird because these dolls are, how do I even explain it? Like, I just think these releases of these dolls are so perfect, but none of them are my favorite face sculpts. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's kind of weird, but I like what I like. Anyway, let's get to it. Number 3 is Mademoiselle Eden Blair. This doll, she's in head to toe pastels with a fantasy hair. You guys, she's so beautiful. And I saw her in person for the first time at the convention, and she's even more beautiful in person somehow. I don't even know. I love her. I absolutely love her. She's absolutely stunning. I wouldn't change anything about her. If I could pick any line to be continued in the what do you call it? Integrity Toys. I don't know why I was struggling with that. If I could choose any lines to be continued in Integrity Toys, I would choose the Mademoiselle line or the Boudoir collection. And the Boudoir collection is like the one Natalia is from. I believe that's its like actual name. The one with like Natalia, Jordan, and Senya. But my second choice would be the Mademoiselle line because so good. So yeah, Mademoiselle Eden is absolutely perfect. I love everything. She's in pastels. She's just pretty. Like, she's so perfect, and perfect for me. Like, it's insane how perfect she falls into my taste. Again, I'm not a big fan of the twin sculpt. I don't hate it or anything, but like, I'm not like a Blair twins like raver or anything like that. But it's so perfect here. I would change nothing. But speaking of the Blair twins, let's move on to number 2. All right, if you didn't guess it from the last one, my number 2 spot also belongs to one of the twins, but not just one of the twins. We have Mademoiselle Lilith Blair. This is pastel perfection. I cannot express how much I love this doll. I love every little single element. Everything about her is just perfection. First off, she has the fantasy hair too, but I like this color fantasy hair better. Eden has the same fantasy color hair as the La Sombra Alejandra Luna from the Stilettos Out convention, but this purple is like a softer, cooler tone purple, which I enjoy more. It's giving more lavender. And then she has this pastel blue bows all over her. It's just so pretty. And then she has these sheer gloves. I love this doll. And oh yeah, and she has that incredible like multi-tiered choker rhinestone. So good. I actually do own the Moments collection, or also known as like the color variant of this outfit. I have the Night Out Erin Solston, which I do love. Do not get me wrong. Love that dress. It is so pretty. But the original wins. Like the Mademoiselle version on Lilith wins. I want this doll so badly. And I saw her in person for the first time at convention, and I almost threw an unnecessary amount of money down to get her. I ended up holding myself back, which I think was the right move. Some of these other dolls, what I try to do is, I'm never going to tell someone what to price their doll. That is up to them. That I'm not here to tell you what to do with your doll. Once you own it, it's yours. But I think the best thing for me financially is to like stick to trading dolls. I think that's what's worked out best for me so far when obtaining some of these like highly sought after dolls. So I probably one day hope to trade a doll in order to obtain this doll instead of paying her resale price, because her price is really high because she is a very beautiful doll. Even though she is actually an upgrade doll from one of the W Club upgrade years, which is kind of crazy that I have her so high, but she was just, you know what I mean? Like usually more expensive, more luxe dolls are like convention dolls or like lottery dolls that had a low edition size. But no, she was a upgrade doll. If only I'd been collecting that year. But one day I'll own her, I am sure. I'm speaking it into the universe. But she is not my number 1. So my number 1, if you've watched or you follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I'm pretty sure you know who my number 1 is, but let's go ahead and get straight to it. All right, you guys, my number 1 doll on my Grail list, she has been my number 1 Grail doll for a while. Essentially, since I started collecting Integrity Toys, she was already towards the top, and she has maintained that top spot. In 2023, she was my number 1 doll on my Grail list, and guess what? She still is. So my number 1 doll is legendary status Agnes Von Weiss silver variant. Oh, you guys, she's so beautiful. And again, this is what I was talking about, like my top 3. It was the Blair sculpt, like Eden and Lilith Blair, and then Agnes, which none of those 3 are my favorite sculpts. I don't hate any of them, but none of them are my favorite sculpts. But this Agnes is so perfect. I really love this Agnes. I would literally change nothing. She has these stone tights, the stone dress with like this pastel-y silver, like she's just beautiful. And then she has like this platinum blonde silvery hair. Like it's not even like the normal platinum blonde, it's like silverish. I really love this Agnes. I think she is so pretty. And she's my #1 Grail doll. That has not changed. I don't know if a doll will ever like knock her out of the top spot unless I obtain her and then she's off the Grail list. That's a dream. It'll happen one day. Actually, fun fact, when I was at the convention, I was going through so much inner turmoil because I was thinking of possibly trading my Oasis Agnes in order to obtain legendary status Agnes von Weiss, because I figured it was a pretty fair trade. A convention Agnes for a convention Agnes. I thought I would have had a decent enough shot that maybe somebody would go for that trade. But I'm an emotional collector and I was like, this is my very first convention Agnes. I don't want to let her go. So instead, she's sitting here behind me. And plus, I think the screening on this Agnes is like one of the best Agnes has ever had. But she exists. This silver version of legendary status is so beautiful. I have not seen her in person. I don't think I saw her. I did see like the regular version of legendary status Agnes. I saw a lot of people selling parts of her dress. I saw the doll, but I never saw silver, I don't think. But also probably a good thing because I don't want to know, like, would I have thrown down the money to get her? I don't think so. I'd like to say that I would have stayed strong. But yeah, she is my absolute #1 doll that I'd love to obtain in my collection. So that is my entire Grail list. You guys now know the top dolls and new dolls and outfits that I would love to obtain for my collection. Do I think I'm going to obtain any within the 2025 year? It's not really a goal of mine. I think part of the fun with collecting older dolls for me is like not the chase necessarily, but like the journey. Like I'm not rushing it. If it happens, I'm gonna be so excited and so happy about it and thankful to anyone who helps me obtain them. But I'm not like, I need to get all 10 or my collection's never complete. I'm very happy with my complete without these dolls, but I also would love to add these dolls to them. So yeah, maybe will manage to obtain one this year. I've had pretty good luck obtaining grails. I got right here, my hand's not lining up. Graceful Rain Vanessa Perrin, which was a gift from someone at the convention, which still blows my mind. I managed to get Varsity Alejandra Luna, who was a grail of mine, through a trade on the forums. She's literally, you can't see her, but you can see her boots right there. I have her just hanging. So I've already obtained like some grails, honestly. And then there are some dolls missing from my list. Like I said, my tastes have changed a little bit, but also there's some dolls that should definitely be on that list and are not there. But that might be because I actually managed to get them. So I'm not gonna say who, but I did actually obtain one of the dolls on my grail list from the 2023 club year. Well, 2023 club year. I obtained one of the dolls that I had on my grail list in my 2023 grail list video. So I actually have obtained a 3rd grail after the convention. I'm really excited about it, but I haven't been able to tell you guys about it or anything because it's been crazy. But feel free to guess who it is down in the comments. I'd love to know who you guys think I got. I'm gonna give you a heads up. It's not the debut $1 billion baddie Alejandra Luna. And also, some of you might have expected her to be on my grail list, but I think I've become maybe psychotic. I don't know. Or just, delusional. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. I've become delusional about that doll. Like, I'm so convinced I'm going to own Alejandra Luna that I'm like, she doesn't even go on the grail list because it's just a matter of time before she goes into my collection. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but I have so far convinced myself that I'm going to own that doll that I'm not even putting her on the grail list. I don't know if that makes sense, but 100% that's the truth. I do not have that doll, but I'm convinced I'm gonna own her. So I do still want that doll, just so you guys know. But yeah, it is not $1 billion baddie Alejandra Luna. So yeah, it's not baddie Alejandra Luna, but it was a doll that I mentioned in the 2023 video, and I do own now. So I'd love to hear you guys' guesses down below. But also, I really want to hear you guys, like, I want to hear you guys' top 5. I'd love to hear it. A lot of times you guys are really good at, like, teaching me about new dolls that I'd never heard of. And even though I've been pretty good, I'm, like, working on my own to, like, look through a lot of the past releases and learn about a lot of these dolls. I also learned a lot from you guys, which I love. I find out about so many cool dolls. So I'd love to hear you guys' grail list in the comments below. And yeah, I think that's about everything. As always, I really appreciate a like and a subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. I'm gonna do my best to keep it going, 2 videos a week at a time, as I've been doing so far. We'll see. Also, we are almost done with my stilettos out unboxings, which is insane that it is still going, but I have so much stuff I'm excited to share with you guys once we wrap that up. Not that I'm not excited about the stilettos out dolls, I am, but yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff coming up. I'm really excited for you guys. Literally, I just told you guys I've obtained a grail, so I have that to share with you guys very soon. But yeah, that's absolutely everything. As always, as well, down in the description you can find like my links and stuff, such as my Instagram, which is his.dolls on Instagram. That's where I've been posting photos of dolls in my collection. And yeah, I think that is actually everything. So I hope to see you on the next one.